So
Yeah.
my first week in my new school, so I was asking my students I wanted to get to know them. So I told them, write me a short paragraph about what is your dream. So everyone's writing their things, and then this student, he says like, oh teacher, I don't have a dream. So I tell him, well just write something, you know. Then he writes his dream, and then he says, when you're reading it, it says, my dream is to be a murderer. I find the sight of the blood thrilling and exciting as it splashes everywhere. This is the first assignment. So then I had to have, fellowship with him. I'm like,
What did you say?
I'm like, is this really your dream? And then he's like, yeah. And then I'm like, you have to redo this. And he's like, I can't redo this. This is my dream. This is how I feel. So then I said, then this is a mind problem. So first I need to tell the teachers, and then I have to tell pastor. And as I'm saying this, pastor walks into the office. So I'm like, oh, perfect, pastor's right there. So like, okay, you want me to tell him? And then he's like, no. I'm like, okay, then I'll give you another chance to change it. And then he's like, no, this is my
You're
dream.
talking to a potential murderer.
He's like,
You're bargaining with him.
So then I'm like, then change it. And then he's like, no, this is my dream. I'm like, so this is really how you feel? And then he's like, yeah, okay. Then I start to stand up, and he's like, no. I'm like, so you have the option of changing it, trying again, like really putting in effort, or going with this answer, and then I can just let everyone know, and we can all help you in your problem. So as this is going on for like 15 minutes, and like there's one other teacher who's listening, and she's just like looking. She understands things, and she's like, "What the heck is going on?"
Is she understanding?
She understands.
Okay.
And then so this is going on, and then eventually he's like, "Okay." He came in with his friend, so him and a friend came in. So I knew that they're trying to challenge the new teacher. You know what I mean? Like kind of like seeing like, oh, how far can we get away with making trouble with me? With me. Because it was my like second class. Like I had barely started teaching them, so it's kind of like they had never had. I'm their first male teacher. So if you look at the girls are so well behaved, so well, because they have so many female teachers. But the boys have never had a male teacher. So they're trying to see how far they can get away with things like with a male teacher. And then I'm like, I'm not having this because my other school, they were so good, like in terms, because maybe it's because they had a male teacher. They did have a male teacher, so that male teacher already kind of cut them off, made a point, like made a line for them.
Yeah.
But the boys don't have a line. Like they're always like going out and like smoking. So then, anyways, this happened. This is like the first week, and then the second week, I gave them and he ended up doing it again. So then he wants to be an interpreter. And then I told him, Pastor Park wants us not just to have the dream of being interpreters, but to try to be mind lecturers instead of just interpreters. So then, the second week, this same boy, we're in class, we're doing classwork. And then I gave them all an empty comic strip without the words in it. So everyone has a different one, and they had to put in dialogue into the comic strip. So then everyone's getting it, we work on it, and then obviously I told him in the beginning, you're gonna have to present it, so be ready. He doesn't like to present, but anyways, I'm like, you have to. So then everyone goes, and then maybe he's half between everyone, he's in the half. So then I'm like, hey, it's your turn. So then he's like, no, I don't want to present. I'm like, oh, I don't care. Get to the front. You know what I mean? I'm very blunt. Like I'm just very blunt. Like I don't care. You have to present. Everyone has to present. You're not special. So then I make him come to the front, and then he presents. And then it's a conversation. It's a comic strip that has a mother and two sons. And then the mother says, "Hey, you kids, you have to wash the dishes." And then the boys are like, washing the dishes. And then the mother's, and it's just the whole thing is a cursing. Like obviously after he said the second F word, I'm like, I just stopped him, Like I just took it. I'm like, hey, let me see that. He's like, oh no. And I'm like, what do you mean no? Give me the paper. Like I'm gonna see it. So then I took it and I read it, and it's just a bunch of cursing. I'm like, do you think this is okay? And then he said, I don't know. I'm like, do you know what this means? And he's like, kind of. I'm like, sit down. Like, so then I got the whole class in trouble because, actually, when I first arrived there was a problem with all of them cursed a lot. Like, and then because a lot of the teachers don't really understand what it means. Like, just like if I would, like, I don't curse in Korean because I don't understand the curses and the real feeling behind it. So I just don't do it. Like, if I understood it, then maybe I would know when to use it and how to use it playfully.
They were all
but I
cursing in
don't.
English.
But they were cursing in English. They don't understand it. So then I just slowly I'm stopping that because it seems like the school seems very relaxed because it is a public school, so they have to be more careful with things. But it's like they're all church kids right now. There's like 2 or 3 people who are outside from church, like who we can't really do like fellowship with. Was like everyone else is from church, so I don't know why. Because the 3 kids are not from church, like they treat them like worldly kids instead of church kids. And to me, it's very strange, and because Pastor Park switched all he picked one teacher for each school. They're making a lot of changes, so he put me there in Dong Seoul. So now I have to. There's a lot of things that I have to change inside of that school in order to make it more aligned with what Pastor Park spoke to the students about. And it's very stressful in this new school because there's a lot of things that have to change. Like if I had stayed in Masan, actually there would be few things. Already we were doing a lot of things that were according to what Pastor's words. But then this public school one is more difficult because you have to be careful in how you do the things because always government people come in, and it's difficult because of that thing. And then it's also difficult because of the dang kids who are like murderers.
Do you think it was